Hey, sweet faces. Welcome to Decimals to the Hundredths. You guys have been absolutely rocking this unit, and I have no doubt that we are going to continue with our success. Now, as we are writing our decimals this week, we need to be careful. If there are any whole numbers, remember that is like living in the land of dollars. We know what to do. If we are dealing with hundredths, write yourself a little reminder or look at your printable on what the places are called. Remember, when we're working with decimals, the place value gives it its name, right? The place value gives it its name. So we look at this denominator, and where it lives depends on that part in the fraction or in the decimal. So I want to have my 21 in the hundredths place. That last digit gives it its name. So if I write this as a decimal, it looks like this: 21 hundredths. The last decimal place value gives it its name. Over here, we can separate it and do our decimal first. So I have 62 hundredths and a 2 in the ones place. I have 96 hundredths, just like 96 cents. There's 100 cents in a dollar. I have 17 hundredths. I have 49 hundredths. Remember, this last place value gives it its name. Super important. Break it down. I have 36 hundredths and a 3 in the ones place. I would read that as 3 and 36 hundredths. Any questions on that one? Bring it with you to class. Our next way to show our decimals is to shade them. Remember, when we're shading them, we're just making our picture match our number. So for this one, we have 52 hundredths, which means that we have 5 of our tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We can count that as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 2 more, 52 tenths. For this one, we have 1 whole. So we're going to start off with filling in our 1 whole and 19 tenths. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, leaving that top piece open. So 1 and 19 hundredths. Down here, 12 hundredths. So that's a 10 and 2 ones, 12 hundredths. Over here, 1 and, so we're going to shade in this whole thing because this is 1 whole. 1 and 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember, I'm doing them in order. Can you do 24 completely separated and pulled apart? Absolutely. I'm just doing this for ease for myself. 1 and, that 1 whole means this whole thing is shaded in. 39, 10, 20, 30, and all but 1 at the end gives us 9. Each of these stacks has 10. 1 and 39 hundredths. Over here, 46. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 46. Any questions on these? Bring them with you to class. All right, Nuggets, each one of these you had to graph on the number line. Another thing you guys have been doing extremely well. So we have 2 and 98 hundredths. And when I look, that lives right here. I have 51 hundredths, and that lives right here. I have 3 and, remember decimal means and, 42 hundredths right there. I have 75 hundredths. I have 5 and 36 hundredths. And last one is 23 hundredths. Any questions on these rock stars? Bring them with you to class. All right, Nuggets, this time I gave you the decimal and I asked you to give me the fraction. Remember, the decimal name comes from where it lives in the number. The fraction's name comes from the denominator. So we always check that last digit in the decimal to help us decide what goes on the bottom of our fraction. That 8 is in the hundredths place. My fraction's denominator is 100. How many hundredths do I have? 98. This 8 is in the hundredths place. How many do I have? 98. But don't forget, I also have 2 wholes, 2 and 98 hundredths. Looking at that last decimal place value to get my denominator, that 5 is in the hundredths place in both numbers. How many hundredths do I have? 55. How many hundredths do I have? 55 and 1 whole, 1 and 55 hundredths. Down here, 6 and 3, they are both in the hundredths place. So that gives me my denominator. How many hundredths do I have? 46. How many hundredths do I have? 93 and 3 wholes. My 1 and my 9 are in the hundredths place. That's my denominator. How many do I have? 91. How many do I have? 89 and 4 wholes. My 4 and my 7 are in the hundredths place. That gives me my denominator. How many do I have? 54. How many do I have? 47 and 7 wholes. Last one for this style. The 2 and the 1 are in the hundredths place. How many do I have? 62. How many do I have? 21 and 5 wholes. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. All right, now gets into the true stretch, the word problems. Remember with word problems, 2 things. What are they asking me to do? What numbers are they giving me to use? So Lindsay has $1.95 and Heather has $2.13. Who has more? Heather has more because 2 and 13 hundredths is more than 1 and 95 hundredths. It's all in the whole numbers for that one. I'd rather have $2 than $1. Devin earned $5.44 on Monday, $5.23 on Wednesday, $5.84 Friday from chores around the house. Place the days in order from least to greatest based on the amount that he earned. So I'm going to come down here and give myself an L and a G as a reminder of what I'm being asked to do. If these are sticky, you can stack them. I can do, let me give myself some room, I'll do it over here. 5, 4, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, 8, 4. And I want to compare them just like any other number. These 5s are the same. Coming over here, 2 is the smallest. Then 4 is the smallest. Then 8 is the smallest. So greatest to least is 5 and 23 hundredths, 5 and 44 hundredths, 5 and 84 hundredths. Saturday, it rained 1 and 43 hundredth inches or 1.43 inches. Sunday, it rained 1.36 inches. What day did it rain less? It rained less on Sunday because 1.36 is less than 1.43. Mrs. Doyle has $2.45. Write how much she has as a decimal. So I have $2 or 2 wholes and 45 cents. $2.45 as a decimal. Brett made 3 measurements, 1.82 ounces, 1.88 ounces, and 1.33 ounces. Place the measurements in order from greatest to least. We can do the same thing as last time where we stack them. So I have 1.82, 1.88, 1.33, and I start with the first place value or biggest place value. They're the same. 8, 8, and 3. Well, I see my first one that is the smallest, so I'm going to bop that over here. And then I'm dealing with a 2 or an 8. Well, the 1 and 88 hundredths is going to be the greatest. 1 and 82 hundredths is going to be second. And the smallest is 1 and 33 hundredths. All right, over to Willow and our last question for this week. Willow ran 2.28 miles on Tuesday, 3.54 miles on Thursday, and 1.27 miles on Saturday. What day did she run the most? She ran the most on Thursday. Because Thursday she ran 3.54 miles. If we look at the ones place, we have a 2. Whoop. We have a 2, a 3, and a 1. 3 is the greater value. Any questions, love bugs? Bring them with you to class. Have a good week.